Hi everyone and welcome in this new video. Today we are going to learn how to install and do basic coding in Python programming language. So let's get started. To install Python in your system, there are two ways. One, you can go to the web browser and can write www.python.org. You will reach to the website which can download Python for you. Go to the download tab and according to your operating system, you can click and select the option and can download Windows installer 62-bit or 32-bit depending upon the configuration of your system. Once you will hit this download, it will download an exe file that you can install and use Python. If you find this method is a little longer and you are a Windows user, you can directly go to the method 2, which is Microsoft Store, write Python in the search bar and you will get the latest version of Python here as well. Downloading Python is absolutely free of cost. You can simply click on Get button and Python will be installed in your system. Once you will install Python in your system, you can search Python and you will find IDLE Python, the version that you have downloaded. IDLE is Integrated Development and Learning Environment, and once you will hit this button, you will see the Python shell in front of you. Now you can directly start writing the different programs here and can start the Python programming. IDLE has two modes in Python programming. The first one is the interactive mode and second is the script mode. We will start our Python programming with interactive mode first. When you will open IDLE shell, you can see these three arrows which are known as the prompt, from where you can start writing your instructions. So the first program that we will start writing is write a program to add two numbers, which is one of the simple program here. I have used a hash symbol to make it a comment, and when we are making any comment, it means the computer will not read that particular comment in execution. As soon as you see these three arrows, it means that you can start writing the instructions. So let's get started. Whenever we have to add two numbers, we need to store these two numbers in variables. You can keep any variable name here as simple as possible. So I am taking here a equals 10, where 10 is the value which has been assigned to the variable a with the help of an assignment operator equals to. Please note, every variable can store a single value and it is changeable in nature. Later on, the same value of the variable can change and it can store some replaced and updated value. If you see these three arrows after pressing the enter key coming in the next line, it means there is no error in the line. IDLE shell checks every instruction line by line. So if there will be any error in a single line, it will show you the error in the very next line. Now I am taking a variable name, let's say b, and I am writing here a value 20. So these are the two numbers that I want to add, and thereby I have added their value in a variable. Now if both of the instructions are correct, now I need to take a third variable which is going to keep the value of adding these two numbers. Let's say I am taking a variable c and I am writing a plus b in that, which will add these two values and will give me the result. All three instructions are absolutely fine, no error is there. That is why you are getting the prompt after every line. Now I want my computer not only to perform the calculation but also to show me result. For that purpose, we have an instruction which is known as print, and print is a function which helps to understand that any message that I would like to print on my screen, that can be printed with the help of print statement. If I just want to see as a result addition of 10 and 20, I will just print c, the variable which is holding the value of the addition. And by hitting the enter button, I can see the result. This is the simplest way through which I can write any of the program. But before understanding more into detail how this Python programming can be done, it is very important to understand what are the naming conventions when you are choosing a variable name. There are certain rules that we need to keep in mind while writing different kind of variable names. So let's see that. There are 5 rules that we should keep in mind while writing any variable name. Number 1, a variable name must start with a letter or an underscore character. Number 2, a variable name cannot start with a number, which means you can write a number or a digit at the end or maybe in the middle of a variable name, but you cannot start a variable name with a number. Number 3, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore. It means it can take a combination of small letter, capital letter, digits, or a special character which is only and only underscore. Number 4, variable names are case sensitive. It means that if you are writing age with A capital and age with all the little capitals, they both are considered as different variable names. So you have to be very careful while writing variable names regarding the capital or low letter of the variable name. And the last one, a variable name cannot be any of the Python keyword. If there are some of the keywords which are already saved in the Python library, then we cannot keep those as our variable name. Now this last point we will understand as we will learn different kind of instructions which are being used in Python to understand that what are the different keywords that we use in Python and we cannot take them as a variable name. But to be on the safer side, it was always advisable that we should take a variable name which is relatable to our program. So let's see with different programs that what kind of variable names we can keep for different programs. Let's take another example of subtracting 2 numbers. So for writing subtraction of 2 numbers, I am going to use a hash sign here which will help me to write any comment in English language which is not readable by the computer. So here I am writing, write a program to subtract 2 numbers, and this will be treated as a comment. If I have to subtract 2 numbers, again I need to have 2 numbers with me and I have to perform subtraction between them and print the result. This time I am going to take another variable name so that we can be more clear with what kind of names I can take for the variable. Here, because I would like to keep 2 numbers, I am keeping a relevant name with this. I can use num1 as a variable name. I can also use number1 for variable name, or I can use also num_1 as a variable name. All 3 conditions are correct. Now, as I mentioned that variable names should be case sensitive, so it is not like that you can't use a capital letter in this. You can, but safer side it is being said that you can take your variable name or any name that you are taking up in small letter to be escaped from any of the capital or small letter problem. So I have taken my first variable name as num_1 and I have taken this random value as 34. The second variable name I am taking relevant num_2. This is my second number. Use of assignment operator to give it a value, and let's say I have taken a value 12. Now I need to take a third variable which can perform a subtraction. So either I can write a relevant name related to my operation, which is the short form of subtraction, sub equals to a minus b. This will show me a subtraction. Do you think that at this point of time my program is correct? The answer is no, because I have used a kind of variable names which are not my current variable values that I have taken. If in the same program I have taken the value a and b here, it will not perform the subtraction of these numbers, rather it will perform the subtraction of these. So you need to be very careful while taking the variable names. Here I can write num_1 minus num_2 and simply print the result by writing sub here, and you can get the subtraction here. Now please note, there are different ways through which we can print our result. This is the simplest way through I have printed my result. I can also give a statement and print my result. How it will be? Write the print statement, and whenever I am supposed to write any statement or any string of characters, it is important that I should be using apostrophes, and inside that I will write my message. So it will be the subtraction of two numbers is. This whole is an English statement. I want this message to be printed on the screen for the user. So I can write anything and everything in the apostrophes to be printed as it is in my output screen. Separation of this string with a comma, and now writing the variable name which is holding the value of my subtraction, that is sub. Closing the bracket, and you can see another way of printing the same result. Now there is one more way through which I can make this even more better and specific. If I want 34 and 12 to come in my print statement, I have the third way of printing it. First, I can start my statement with subtraction of, this is my statement that I would like to see, separating it with a comma. Variable 1 name is num_1. So it will take subtraction of 34. So when I am writing the variable name here, when the result will be printed, it will show me the assigned value as a result. Subtraction of num1 and num2 I want. So here num1 and num2 are the variable names. Therefore, I will write it without apostrophes, and the rest of the statement is a part of string, a statement, or English statement. Therefore, I will be writing it with the apostrophes. Separating it with the comma, num_2, subtraction of num1 and num2 is. So here every single word of English is being written in apostrophes, and the rest of the things which have been defined here as the variable names are without apostrophes. The subtraction is saved in sub and hitting the enter button. You can see this is another way of printing the result. So depending upon what kind of output you want the user to see, that way you can write your print statement. This is how we work in interactive mode, where as we will be writing different statements, it is going to be checked by the shell line by line and giving you the result instantly. But this kind of atmosphere or this kind of mode is actually reasonable when you have short programs. But if you want to write a long program or a lot of programs, short programs in the same program, then at that point of time this mode won't work. Because if you are writing a single statement wrong in between your program, it will give you the error then and there, which will make it difficult for us to see for the programming line every now and then. And therefore the need of script mode comes in. How I can go to script mode? I can hit the file option here and I can click on new file. Now even if my program is really very long, I can write everything in this file and can see the result. So let's get started. I am writing here a program in which I would like to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division all together, everything using the same values in one program. And this time I am not going to assign the values, but rather I would like to take the value from the user. If I would like to do so, let's see how I can perform that. I am taking a variable which is number 1 and I would like to take the value from the user. So here I want an integer value from the user or a whole number from the user. So I need to tell that in the program. For that purpose in Python we have a keyword known as int. Int is a short form for integer, and whenever we would like to have a value in integer form, I write this particular instruction here. Followed up by input. Input is another function or instruction in Python which helps me to give a message to the user and take the value from the user. In the apostrophes, I am going to write the message for the user, enter the first number. With the help of this statement, my user will understand that exactly what type of thing they need to enter as input. So this is the bracket I have closed for the input, and the second bracket is for int. Now to enter the second value, I am taking the variable as num2 or number2, and I am copying down this statement and I am pasting it with the help of Control C and Control V. In place of first, I am removing it with second, and that's how I will take the user input from my program. At some point of time, if I would like to write here what is the objective of this program, I can use a hashtag and write a program to add, subtract, divide and multiply two numbers by taking user input. So this is how I can write about it. Now I need to simply write the formula for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division all in one program. So I am taking add variable to add both of the numbers. So number 1 plus number 2. For subtraction, I am taking sub and I am writing number 1 minus number 2. For division, I am using div, number 1 divided by number 2. So here for division we use /. And for multiplication, I am taking the variable mul and I am writing number 1 multiplied by number 2. In computers, for multiplication we use asterisk. And now I am going to simply use 4 different print statements to give away the result. Now again, it depends upon you that how would you like to print the message for the user. You want a statement or you just want to print the values. So once I have written the entire program, I can run it by using 2 options. Either I can hit the F5 key from my keyboard and can run it, or I can go to the run module and click on run module and I can go like that. But whenever I am writing a program in script mode, it is important that I should save my file. So if I'll hit the OK button, it will give me the save as dialog box. Here I can just create a folder anywhere in any of the folder where I want. I can create a folder. I have created here Python programs and I can save my program here with some name. You can see it's a Python file that has already been recognized here, and I can give any name here for my file. So program 1 is the file name. .py is very important to write because it is the Python extension which makes the computer understand that you are going to run the Python file here. So .py extension is important while saving a file, and hit the save button. Now I can run this program in the shell, and first number I can enter any number here and second number as well, and you can see addition, subtraction, multiplication, division all in one. So that is the use of the script mode in Python, that if you would like to write a complete program in Python in just one file, whether it is short, whether it is long, it helps you to execute it without any problem. So even if you are having any sort of error in your file, that can be also shown in the Python shell. You can just correct it in your file, save it and come back and run the program, or you can just go it like that if there are no errors. So I hope this session might be fruitful for you to understand the basics of Python. In the next class, we will be going to learn the other programs which are used in Python. So keep learning, keep practicing, and be good in coding. See you in the next class.